Hello and welcome to another episode of the Firearms Insider Gun and Gear Review Podcast. This is episode 77. On this show, we showcase gun reviews, gear, and anything else a gun enthusiast may be looking for. We strive to evaluate products from an unbiased and honest perspective. I'm your host, Ryan Cross from the Firearms Radio Network, your source for broadcast for shooters, hunters, and gun enthusiasts. Today, I am going to be doing a microcast with the NRA show and just general, everyone getting kind of spring fever. I didn't really get guests to come on the show with me this week, so I'm just going to do a quick run through of a couple cool products that I found, and then do a review that should be pretty straightforward, and then wrap this up. Hopefully, all within under an hour. As you may know, my microcasts have usually gone over that, but I'll try to keep it short this time. So just let you know. Announcements this week. Guests are always welcome on the show. If you are interested in coming on the show, much like last week, we had Rob come on the show. It was actually a really hilarious show. Send me an email, cross@firearmsradio.tv, cross@firearmsradio.tv, and I'll get you set up for that. Also, my last review that I did on the multiple impact bullets, I forgot to mention that if you're interested in the 12 gauge multiple impact bullets and you only have access to a smooth bore shotgun, if it has a choke thread on there, a multiple impact company actually provides a specialized rifled choke to help increase the give it some spin before it leaves the muzzle, and then increasing that radial spread effect of those specialized rounds. So that's something I forgot to mention that you guys should look up if you're interested in trying this for yourself and you've only got a smooth bore, but you can use chokes. Also, just a reminder that we are running a giveaway right now on iTunes. All you have to do is give this podcast a review on iTunes, and you'll be entered to win this Gunstruction promo kit. I've got two of these. What it is the cool patch, a couple patches, low speed, high drag, one says SHOT Show 2015, and it comes with an as seen on Instagram little Velcro patch that's made out of PVC, and I actually just noticed that it glows in the dark too. And then also included is a black plastic Gunstruction branded dust cover for your AR-15. Pretty awesome dust cover that you could replace just your standard metal one. So all you got to do is leave a review of this podcast, and the cutoff will be the end of this month. So April 2015. So say like the 28th will be the cutoff date, and I'll pick the winners and announce them on the podcast. So let's just get right into it. The first product that we're going to be talking about is the Redfield Battlefield binoculars. I've had quite a few people suggest that we talk more about binoculars. Usually when we do optics, we talk about like rifle scopes and red dots, but I think binoculars don't really get a lot of love here. So I'm going to make sure that I bring up something that actually caught my eye when I saw it at the store. So the Redfield Battlefield is a 10 by 42 roof prism binocular, and one unique thing about it is that it has a reticle, TAC MOA reticle. It's got stadia lines on the horizontal and vertical crosshairs set at 2 minute of angle increments. So it's located in the left binocular barrel and can be rotated by turning the knurled eyepiece. So you could use it for range estimation, even if you're kind of on a slope and there's no real level horizon line to base it off of. You can kind of rotate that reticle and get a fairly accurate estimation if you know how to do that using MOA subtensions. So pretty interesting. The MSRP on that is only $250, so $249.99. That's not bad at all. The weight is 6.4 ounces, and the length is only 5.9 inches. Like you said, the objective is 42 millimeters. Let's see here. The actual magnification is 10. The linear field field of view at 1,000 yards is 341 feet, and the angular field of view is 6.5 degrees. It comes with a MOLLE case with some MOLLE straps on there, a tripod adaptable mount. It's waterproof and nitrogen filled, so nitrogen purged is what they meant to say. Fully multi-coated lens, neoprene neck strap, and lens covers. The eye cups are twistable. The prisms are called BAK4, and the body is made out of aluminum, and it's got this really cool like desert digital camouflage printed on there. And that's kind of the one thing that made this stick out at the store for me, is I've never seen binoculars that had this kind of camouflage pattern on them. So they look very much like, you know, Desert Storm with this this pattern on there. So yeah, they look like pretty good. Supposedly the prisms offer unrivaled brightness, resolution, and edge clarity, and the armored polycarbonate body. You know, it says fully armored aluminum body, but then it also says polycarbonate body. Guaranteed renowned red field durability. I'm not sure if it's, I can't remember at the store whether it's polycarbonate or aluminum. So that might be a little bit of mix up that I'm reading on this PDF that I downloaded from their website. But all in all, I think that if you're in the market for some binoculars that aren't going to break the bank, and you've got a red field binocular, or I'm sorry, a red field rifle scope that's got the TAC MOA reticle, or just, you know, any MOA reticle on your optic, and you want yourself or your spotter to have the ability to help estimate range by using that reticle in the binoculars, this could be somewhat handy for you, and it's not all that expensive compared to what else is out there. So if you're interested in that, go to redfield.com and look up the Battlefield roof prism binocular. And of course, it carries Redfield's warranty. That's pretty stand-up, kind of inherited through Leupold. Let me just take a drink of water here real quick. You'll notice that I'm drinking from kind of an odd-looking bottle. That's actually what I'm going to be reviewing today. This is the Hydra Pack, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. So next up, we've got the Polycase Inceptor ARX ammo. This is something that kind of made a good splash at SHOT Show. It's a polymer ammunition. It's kind of a new twist. So it's made by Polycase, and if you're not familiar, Polycase is actually trying to bring polymer cases instead of brass cases to the ammunition market. But now they're working on brass cased but polymer alloy hybrid projectiles. So the ARX is a new twist on ammunition. It's got injection molded copper polymer bullets. They're loaded to semi-specs in high quality brass cases. So they're saying that it delivers some pretty awesome energy force dispersion, because the tip of the bullet kind of has this somewhat almost like vortex design in the front, similar to what Lehigh is doing right now with those like Phillips screwdriver head looking bullets. This is somewhat similar, but I think a little bit more organic in the way that they're twisted. They're not so like symmetrical. You know, there's kind of like three inversions in the tip of this bullet, and they kind of rotate a little bit. So that's supposed to provide a lateral force dispersion. And if you were to look at the videos of them shooting this into ballistic gelatin, you'd kind of see why, the idea behind it. So it's a non-expanding design. It harnesses the rotational energy to transfer maximum energy through lateral force when it's going through soft tissue. Let's see here. So it's pretty much just engineering and fluid dynamics. So it's using the hydrodynamic ram effect by design. So it's exploiting the rotational force of the bullet, resulting in a self-defense round that is engineered to perform. So currently it's available in 380 auto, 9mm Luger, 40 Smith & Wesson, 45 auto, 357 SIG, and 458 SOCOM, and it's going to be available soon in 38 special. So the 380 auto, it's a 56 grain ARX bullet, and the velocity on that is 1,150 feet per second. The 9mm is a 74 grain bullet using and it has 1,475 feet per second. The 40 Smith & Wesson, or 40 short and weak, depending on what side of the fence you stand on, uses a 107 grain projectile, and it's going 1,350 feet per second. And the 45 auto is a 114 grain bullet with traveling 1,150 feet per second, so 1,150. So really lighter, obviously, because the copper polymer blend. So it's a lot lighter than the counterpart, which you'd expect. 45 auto, you'd think 185, 230 grains, only being 115. But the speed is definitely much higher up there than what you would typically expect. The 9mm ammo is typically between 11 and 1,200 feet per second, and this is 14, almost 15 feet per second, 1,500 feet per second. Same with 45 auto, typically a subsonic round, definitely going 1,150 feet per second. So these are typically faster than what you'd expect from traditional bullets, just because the lighter weight. So it says, even the heaviest clothing barriers have no effect on the terminal performance of the ARX bullet. Penetrates straight until it encounters soft tissue. Upon entering the soft tissue, it's specifically designed grooves basically just take that rotational energy and deliver it into the initial 6 inches of penetration. Giggity. So yeah, it should be a pretty impressive bullet self-defense option. As far as the price per, let's see, the 380 comes in 25 round packs, the 9 comes in 25, the 40 and the 45 come in 20 round packs, not 25. So if I go to bangitammo.com, I was able to find 9mm for $24.99, which comes down to about $1 a bullet. So that may or may not be worth it to you. But if you go to if you go look at the show notes at firearmsinsider.tv, and then you click on the link I've got the price for the 9mm. It'll take you to the polycase page on bangitammo.com. If you scroll down, they have a video of the ammo being shot through slow motion through ballistic gelatin, and you can kind of see it basically spinning in just the massive wound channel that it creates. So it's pretty awesome, I think. You guys want to check it out for yourself to be sure. I wish I had some guests on the show with me this week so they could share their thoughts. So this is something that you guys, the listeners, are going to have to check out for yourself if this seems like something that interests you. If you're dead set in your beloved Hydroshocks or Gold Dots, this may not be up your alley, but it's definitely interesting to see the technology of the bullet, something that's been designed for centuries and centuries ago, how it's being advanced today. So the website for the Inceptor is www.polycaseammo.com, and then you can just look up the Inceptor. They've got several new bullets out right now, so it's in the Inceptor family, and it's ARX. They also have an RNP, which is kind of a round nose, and then they have a Firefly, which is a tracer, and a TNP, which, if I remember correctly, that was more of a flat nose, yeah. But the ARX is what I'm wanting you guys to check out. All right, so those are the 2 products I wanted to show you guys this week, or talk about a little bit, and have you maybe be interested in checking out. So in my review this week, I'm going to be reviewing the HydraPack Stash. And this is what that looks like. The review is up right now on the Firearms Insider website, firearmsinsider.tv. Go over to reviews and then look up the HydraPack Stash. So this was sent to me by HydraPack. Ran into them at SHOT Show. Their demonstration at their booth was quite noticeable because they would take some of these bottles and fill them up completely, and then seal them off and stand on them in the middle of the showroom. So what it is it's a soft, almost like a soft bladder, but it's got a hard top and bottom. So it's kind of a hybrid of a bladder and a sports bottle. This material that it's made out of is radio frequency welded, which kind of bonds the material on a molecular level. So that basically makes it so you can stand on it full of water and it's not gonna, no seams are gonna burst, because this material is like really bonded, like down to the atom. So that gives it kind of really nice strength. And then you have the benefit of it being a soft walled, so that it conforms to your body, or if you're shoving it into a backpack, it's not rigid. It's gonna fold and conform. Another nice thing too is it's BPA and PVC free. That meets or exceeds FDA and EU regulations. Anybody that's into sports bottles is really into, or hopefully, what kind of plastics or polymers it's made out of. And if it's got BPA or PVC in it, that kind of seeps into the water over time and breaks down. So that's not really good for your health. So this is completely free of those chemicals. It's also dishwasher safe, which is really nice. Use the top rack. It's got a max temperature of 140 degrees. So it's got a lifetime warranty for no leaking. It's got a natural antifungal property. This material, just if you got water in here, it's got it's less likely to mold or anything like that. The biggest advantage to the stash, and where this bottle has gotten its name, I'm gonna have to drink the rest of this to demonstrate, so bear with me 1 second. Okay. Killed it. So this is called the Stash because of its portability. Now, when this bottle is empty, then you take the cap off so that air can escape through the mouth. You just simply twist the bottle by holding the top and bottom ends and just twisting, and you'll notice that this material just kind of wraps up in itself, and the two halves get closer and closer together until you just snap the top and the bottom together. There's little tabs on the top piece that overlap the bottom piece. So now you're left with this very small, compact little plastic spaceship looking thing. You can see that the plastic of the bottle is kind of nicely wrapped up, and then you can just put the cap right over the top of it. So the profile of this thing is about 2 inches now. So it's really small. Throw this into a pocket of a backpack, a jacket, a fanny pack if you're still rocking the fanny. Really easy to store. Other thing too is that if you're into camping, you don't want a whole lot of camping stuff. You've got enough things that help you with your trip, but take up a lot of room. You don't need your water retaining vessels to take up more room too. Also, you'll notice the shape, the bottom of it is kind of hollowed out. You can get more of these and kind of stack them together, and that even increases its efficiency, taking up its kind of square footage. It's got a nylon carry loop, really nice. You put your fingers through that and carry it with you, especially when it's full. The capacity is 750 milliliters. And if it's been a few years since you've been in the public education system and you don't remember how much 750 milliliters is, that's a whole fifth. So that should hopefully clear it up for you. So that's a whole lot of water. just expands really simply. When you want to take it apart, or I'm sorry, expand it again, just take the cap off so you can let air get in there. And then you just squeeze on the top half, and those tabs will release the bottom, and then you can just untwist it out. So then you got your full water bottle right there. So as a hunter, this appealed most to me because, typically I'll throw get some Aquafina or some cheap water, bottled water, and throw it in my pack. I'll probably have like 2 or 3 bottles in there. I'm in Eastern Washington. It gets really hot, especially even in the fall. It's still pretty warm on the sunny days. So you're hiking and you're sweating and you're drinking water. And if you don't kill the bottle with one stop, you're gonna have to either put the cap on there, shove it into your bag, and it's still gonna take up the same amount of space, even though you're drinking half of it, or you squeeze it and squeeze the air out, but it makes that crinkling sound. And if it's not full of water and you're kind of walking around or leaning up against a tree, it's still going to make a crinkling sound. And, when you realize that there's another option out there that's, the advantages of a bladder is it doesn't have that audible, crinkling noise. But bladders are a little bit hard to drink from and refill. And, you can't set them down as easy as a bottle. So this is kind of a nice hybrid, best of both worlds type thing. If you're not into hunting or camping and you're looking for something that, you just go hit the gym, this bottle, you can fill it and it'll sit nicely on the gym floor while you're working out on your machine, or it'll fit in your treadmill cup holder, hopefully. It was a little bit too big to fit inside my truck. I got a Toyota Tacoma. So it didn't fit in the cup holders in the console very well. It's just a little too wide. But other than that, I'll just go through the main key points here. The Stash, claim to fame, is the perfect companion for camping, adventure travel, and everyday use. The target market is camping, travel, hiking, jogging, or bug out / preppers. Features and benefits: soft walls, collapse to 2 inches overall height, mold the top and bottom snap together for storage. It's got the screw cap, a nylon carry loop, stackable. You can nest this with other Stash bottles for good storage of multiple units. That radio frequency weld creates superior bonds. The overall weight on empty is 64 grams or 2.26 ounces. Volume 750 milliliters. The minimum dimensions, I already mentioned that it can go up to 2 inches, but the diameter is 3.5 inches. Dishwasher safe. It doesn't have those harmful chemicals, and it's got the no leak product lifetime warranty, and like I said, the antifungal. Other colors that you can get this in, this is called smoke, so it's kind of a all these colors are going to be somewhat translucent. So this is smoke. They have an orange, a lime, and a blue, and the green. What others are saying, Gizmag, they say, when you think about the option of carrying an empty, full-size 25-ounce bottle around in the last 2 miles of your run or hike versus sliding a disc into your pocket, the Stash's advantage is clear. The Gadgeteer is another magazine. They said that what makes this so interesting to me is that when not in use, the hard molded top and bottom can be collapsed together for storage. This feature is a traveler's dream when every inch of space matters. The price points for these bad boys is $17.99. You can find them on HydraPack or Amazon.com. HydraPack's website is hydrapack.com. Pretty easy to remember. So I overall gave this an 8.0. It is great. My pros: small imprint when collapsed, makes storing easier. It's got a wide mouth, easy for filling. So if you're filling from another bottle or dipping from a hopefully germ-free natural water source, pretty easy to do that, especially with the shape too. If you've pulling water out of a shallow pool, you can kind of collapse this top down so you're not restricted by the normal shape of a bottle. The cons, it doesn't have a retention or tether of the cap, So if you lose this cap, like I just dropped it on the floor, bam, I'm done. You know, they have HydroPack has other bottles on the market that do have some kind of tether or retention of that cap, and I think it's really important that it should have that on there too. So kind of digging it for that. And then when it's full of water, it's not conducive to like smaller backpacks. You know, when this thing's full and you want to throw it into your bag, you know, it's still a whole lot of water for that purpose. You know, typically 750 milliliters is not something that you throw into your backpack for hiking. You might want something a little bit smaller, but you know, it's still a great water bottle. When you're drinking it and it starts to get empty, you know, you'll start to, I guess when you put your thumb underneath the top lid, you know, start to kind of fold it over like this. So it kind of takes some getting used to, you know, because it's not like, you know, we're all used to drinking out of bottles where you just tip it up and the water keeps, let gravity do all the work. But with this, you know, it being pliable, you have to kind of work with it a little bit more and get used to it. Other than that, it's an awesome, innovative design to the water bottle. Something that, you know, I didn't think could be innovated anymore. So I'm pretty impressed with this overall, and I really like the fact that I could make it this small and just throw it into my pack. So that's my review of the HydroPack Stash. I'm also going to be doing a review. You can catch it next week on the HydroPack SF 500, and this is the soft flask, 500 milliliters. So stay tuned for that review. So we don't have any more, let's see, listener feedback. We do have a Tech Gadget app to talk about this week. I got another night vision scope for you guys. However, I made sure to find one that was more affordable. So this is the Armasight Orion 4X Gen 1 Plus, and only MSRP is for $450, so not bad at all. You can definitely spend more money on a non-night vision scope. So the Armasight Orion 4X Gen 1 sight. It's got a 2-year warranty, and it offers pretty high performance mid-range night vision for observation, target acquisition, and, you know, aiming with your scope. So let's see here, run through the features. 4X magnification, shock protected optic, illuminated red cross reticle, simple, easy to operate controls and adjustments. It's water resistant design with a rubberized body, the ability to mount to a standard Weaver rail. It's got variable vertical brightness settings, a detachable long-range infrared illuminator. The resolution is 30 to 40 lines per inch per millimeter, LP/mm. The exit pupil diameter is 8 millimeters. The wind and elevation adjustment is 3/4 MOA. Let's see, field of view is 12 degrees. Range of focus is 10 meters to infinity. Let's see here. The power supply runs on one CR123A lithium 3-volt battery. It's got a low battery indicator. The battery life typically is 4 hours. It's water resistant. Operating temperatures -40 to +50 Celsius. The dimensions, it's 12.7 inches by 4.5 inches, and it's 3.8 inches wide. The weight is 3.2 pounds. I think overall, if you're in the market for a lower cost night vision scope, you don't need any fancy reticles or nothing like that. You just want to get this thing zeroed at 100 and you know, shoot some varmints in the night, or just do some observational stuff with the ability to shoot something. I think it'd be a pretty good way to go. The mount on it looks pretty robust. It's kind of got like a full length cloth type mount for mounting to your Weaver or Picatinny. So that looks very robust. It looks like it's got one Weaver rail off to the side, kind of like an offset 45-degree. So you could probably mount a smaller micro red dot right there, or a reflex sight. It does have scope caps that are tethered to the device to help protect it. And another nice thing about it, it's got a kind of an eyepiece. It must be made out of some kind of rubberized polymer, and it's got some coils in it so that you can have it firmly up to your eye, your brow, and if it recoils, it's gonna kind of compress and not give you scope eye. And then the design of the eyepiece itself is somewhat teardrop, so that it's kind of got a longer section that covers up your peripherals on your right side. So I don't know what the purpose of that is for, to prevent you from losing your night vision if your buddy next to you has a flashlight or something like that. But it looks like it's a pretty well thought out, well designed bottom end night vision scope. You shouldn't have to, you'd have a hard time finding one that costs less than this that isn't complete crap. So I know Armasight makes some pretty good stuff, and they have a pretty good range in the market as far as price points. So this might be worth taking a look at, guys, if you're looking to just get into it. You want to shoot some coyotes at 100, 200 yards, or you want to shoot some hogs if you're down in the southwest. This would be interesting. I'd love to see. You can check out some footage of people hooking a camera up to the back of it. I posted a picture on the show notes showing somebody took an image capture, aiming at some trees. So don't expect movie Hollywood quality resolution, but you'll be at least enough to see your targets. So go to armasight.com and look at night vision weapons sights, and then look for the Orion 4X. In closing, I want to make sure everybody knows about the Firearms Radio Network Everyday Carry Car P9 giveaway. So we're giving away a Car P9 as part of an EDC giveaway. So if you go to firearmsradio.tv/EDC, you'll be able to check out this giveaway. It runs from March 30th till June 30th. How you enter: you can be a patron using the Patreon system. So Patreon is kind of a Kickstarter or crowdfunding type thing where you can support the Firearms Radio Network, Gun Guy Radio, This Week in Guns, or We Like Shooting. And those are the 3 individual ones are per episode. The main Firearms Radio Network Patreon is a monthly type thing. So if you're already a patron, or you just are signing up to be a patron, you're entered, no problem at all. However, if you don't want to be a patron, don't want to get involved in that, but you still want to be entered in, there's an option, a loophole for you to do that without giving us any of your money. There's a form on the page here. You just send us your FRN story. How did the Firearms Radio Network, how did you find it, and how did it change your life? Give us kind of a testimonial. So it can be, stories may be shared with our audience. So if you want to omit personal identifiable information, you want to use code names, be our guest. Also, there's other sponsors in this giveaway, so they're kind of sweetening the pot with their own products. So obviously we got Firearms throwing in the P9. We got Alien Gear holsters, Key Bar, Hellbent holsters, Precision Ear, Easy to See Targets, Cantu Bruner Designs, Wazoo Survival Gear, and LA Police Gear, all throwing in some products to kind of make the giveaway a lot sweeter and a lot more desirable. If the car P9 wasn't enough alone to make you want to win. So go to firearmsradio.tv/EDC to enter for that. So, in closing, send questions or comments to myself, Cross at firearmsradio.tv, or podcast at firearmsinsider.tv. Remember to subscribe and leave us an iTunes review. Check out all the other shows on the Firearms Radio Network at firearmsradio.tv/iTunes. And be sure to visit the Firearms Insider page for reviews and future industry coverage, including the NRA show coming up in the next couple of weeks here. Our own TJ is going to be down there, so hopefully he'll be able to report back to us on some cool things being debuted there, including the Glock 43, which is probably the more sought-after product being released there. But I'm interested in all this stuff too. Anyway, thank you guys for joining me and putting up with just me on this microcast. Look forward to having a good week, getting some shooting in. Everybody else, shoot safe. Have a great week, and I'll catch you on the next episode. See ya.